She used to date Marc Lamont Hill. Did you know that? Melyssa and him used to date.
Really?
Yeah.
She does. She owns
Anyway,
up to
let me stop telling
Yeah,
her
we
this,
did. I mean, I
he's
adore.
a great guy.
I adore Marc.
You did. You called the kerfuffle.
Yo, this nigga come back. Wow.
Shorty didn't know. She was none the wiser, Freeze.
All right, y'all. So I had a whole video prepared, and actually someone did the science on the Joe Budden Network Reddit. A user by the name of Sure Evidence. He did the files and was able to discern how a lot of the storylines of Marc Lamont Hill and Melyssa Ford dating were already confirmed, specifically when Flip went on his rant about the Joe Budden basketball game and revealed that Melyssa Ford was staying away from Marc's wife. And you can see in some of the images here that it got a little bit dicey that night. So what I'm going to do is play this evidence from Sure Evidence, and then I'm going to provide commentary on Melyssa Ford and Marc Lamont's previous dating history towards a little bit after this clip right here. But just pay attention to this, because many times the truth is hiding in plain sight.
What happened? Because I keep hearing these stories. It's about you. Yo, Mark, Big Mel ain't fall for that.
Everybody stop.
Big Mel was at the basketball game like this.
Everybody stop.
Big Mel had fall from
What? This nigga's crazy. He's fucking insane.
Big Mel had
He's like Tasmanian devil.
Mel said, Big Mel and her friend in the building. Mel was like this. Mel was in Afghanistan. That's gonna jump. That was going. Not Flip Weber. I'm in the building, man. That basketball game, Melyssa Ford became me and Ish's best friend. We wouldn't even think about her. She started making small talk.
Like me?
Hey, Flip, how's this kid's girl? Get away from me, girl. Then I looked to my right. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, my kids are good.
You said she ain't mingle?
Yeah. Don't go over there for no shrimp. Don't go over there for shrimp. Hey, get back over there. She good. But we didn't make it like that.
We didn't make it. But him and I didn't make it like that.
No.
Insinuation of anything up here was not done by me and Mel. It was done by you and Joe. That is the start of it. That's it. There's no other point to add to it. There's no other point to drop on top of it. The insinuation, narrative, belief or not belief to it was all initiated from y'all.
But where did the facts start?
What facts?
Where did the facts start?
What facts?
Oh boy, the truth is finally here. Marc and Melyssa Ford have dated, but there's even the caveat of what has been going on behind the scenes. So I've known this for quite some time. Many people have told me about it, but I could never find the clip. And the reason I couldn't find the clip is because that joint was on Patreon for Hollywood Unlocked. How would I have known that? What is even more interesting is that the story about the fateful basketball game that would happen between members of the show was actually more interesting, because Marc's wife was there, and her name is Melyssa, and she knew there was another Melyssa. The second Melyssa, the boy is mine, was popping off at the game, and it was getting a little bit crazy. Now, I want to give credit to the Joe Budden Network Reddit, which is a Reddit that I mod. Sure Evidence, that's the user. He put all of the pieces together. I got to give credit to the people who do the science. And remember when Ford went on that whole spiel at the game when she was interviewing people? She looked nervous, like a hostage. She was like, damn, this is getting real. The tension is thicker than German guard dogs. But what happened was, Flip would reveal on an episode later, yo, Melyssa Ford was scared. She was shook. She was like all scared of seeing the real Melyssa, the big Melyssa. And in that clip, Big Mel was actually a reference to Marc Lamont's wife, not Melyssa Ford. So it was a clever sleight of hand. And while the show did talk about, Melyssa and Marc kind of dating in the past, this was the most stunning admission, because now we have to see how this plays out. How will the rest of the cast deal with everybody knowing about the whole situation? Like, how will Queen's Flip, who himself is always talking about Melyssa Ford's love life, it seems like something he's interested in, but Flip isn't the only one. Joe Budden is also fascinated by Melyssa Ford's love life. Hey, a lot of people are. You know, she is the vixen that we all remember in our minds, and we will have to see how Marc deals with it. Then there's the Imani factor. So now you have to look at that couch very interesting. All right, so Melyssa and Marc have dated. Imani and Melyssa Ford are rumored to have been together. Then it's almost rumored that Ish and Melyssa Ford were a thing. And I have intel that Ish and Melyssa Ford, they weren't, dating or nothing. It wasn't that, it didn't get that far. But Melyssa Ford, by her own admission, got territorial when it came to Marc Lamont Hill. So that whole show is a bevy of human resources emotion. It's a ballet dance of love and heartbreak. And you can see that the show has been navigating awkward situations over the past few months. Something is going on. It's no longer a theory, it's fact. Yeah, we all knew that Marc Lamont and Melyssa, well, not all of us. I knew for quite some time. I was saying it on my videos. Everybody was like, Danny, how would you know? You don't know nothing about relationships. This is just workplace dynamics between a man and a woman. But turns out it was true the whole time. And they've been navigating situations behind closed doors that have revealed, dicey subjects. Go back and watch that basketball game now. This is a perfect time to go back and watch the Joe Budden basketball game. Melyssa Ford was quite distant. That image of Big M, which is Big Melyssa, which is actually Marc Lamont's wife, behind Melyssa Ford is hilarious. Might be one of the funniest images you will ever see on the Joe Budden podcast. And we're going to have to see how this all plays out. Like I mentioned before, we saw how they treat other people who Melyssa Ford has dated, whether it be that actor from that Chicago show, or I don't think they dated, but something happened between Imani and Melyssa Ford. So that, man, Melyssa Ford got like 3 ties to people on the couches up there. And who knows how Joe and Melyssa even met and stuff like that. There's too much going on. There's just too much going on. And I want everybody to leave the science in the comments. I know there's going to be a lot of folks talking about, Danny, who cares? These are adults. Well, if Flip is talking about it on the show, if Joe is talking about it on the show, it's a storyline. So now it's up to us to discuss it. It's not like they kept this quiet. The first reveal was on Hollywood Unlocked. Then there's the whole basketball game rant that Flip went on. Now that rant looks a little bit crazy. And even Marc, when he asked about the Imani situation, he looked like that dude at high school finding out, a girl that he liked messed with a dude that he had no clue about. What happened? How did that occur? May you provide an elaboration? Please let me know. I'm out of the dark. I would like to be present for some type of elaboration moving forward. That's what happened. Maybe he was interested because he himself had been with Melyssa. All right, y'all, that's my video for now. I had this whole video planned. I had like a whole 9-minute clip of me talking about the situation, just reacting to the Hollywood Unlocked video. But then when I saw this on my Reddit, I was like, I got to do the science. I was like, this man, Short Evidence on the Joe Budden Network Reddit, broke it down like a brick in baggies, multiple baggies. He added mad commentary, the text. So go to the Reddit if you want to see the whole video. I was like, I can't put the whole video in there. That joint was 8 minutes long. So we'll have to see. And hopefully the cast is mature enough to deal with it. And that's a whole other caveat to the situation. How the podcast deals with this admission is going to give us insight into how Melyssa Ford is really doing on the show. Because if they don't touch it and they just kind of leave it, that means that Melyssa Ford in the show is dicey. If they do touch it and expand on it, then that means that, all right, everything's cool. We got to broach this subject because that's what the show normally would do. But if they don't, it gives us great insights into what is actually the status between Melyssa Ford and members of the show. With that said, follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Patreon, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.